And let's play ball.
All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Hanover Insurance Park here at Fitton Field as we settle in for Day 3 of the 2017 American Legion Baseball Northeast Regional Tournament. Elimination game between Bangor, Maine. They'll be the home team in Rochester, New Hampshire. Don Boyle, Steve Riley alongside for the call of this one. It's rather cool here today. Humidity starting to pick up just a tad. A light breeze and some overcast skies up above. It's actually a rather delightful day to play some baseball. Rain in the forecast potentially for later today. That could cause some problems as we have 2 more games coming your way. So pivotal matchup between these 2 teams. I really like both Bangor and Rochester, so should be a great battle.
It should be, Don. Bangor, Maine comes into this contest first in team hitting with 333 in the tournament. And they're 5th in team pitching. Rochester, New Hampshire, 6th in team hitting, only 212 on the tournament so far, but they're 2.81 on the team pitching. So they've been pitching pretty well. They just got to step up their hitting game today.
Yeah,
but both these teams in an elimination game.
Jesse Colford will get the baseball for Bangor. He's out there throwing his warm-up pitches now as we'll take a good look at him warming up as Steve runs down the batting order for Rochester, New Hampshire.
Leading off is the center fielder, Ricky Croteau. He'll be followed by Keegan Calero, the shortstop. Christian Dow, the first baseman, will bat third. Logan LaRochelle will be the designated hitter today and bat in the cleanup spot. Brody Ashley will play right field and bat fifth. Drew Nickerson, the third baseman, sixth. Sean Cormier, the left fielder, will bat seventh. Brian Lindsay will catch and bat eighth. And Jordan Goslin will bat ninth and play second base.
Tyler Park behind the plate for Bangor. He's been there the entire tournament. Noah Misbrenner, who can really wallop the baseball. He's at first. Ethan Stoddard, who's hit a home run in game 1 of this tournament. He'll play second base. They got Zach Island at the shortstop spot. Zach Coperwaite is your third baseman. Ben Crichton, the left fielder. Ryan Brookings in center. And Nick Kennard gets a start in right field today. I believe his first start here in the tournament as Croteau will dig on in. He's a veteran to Northeast Regional Baseball play, part of the Rochester, New Hampshire team a year ago. And the pitch is in for the strike to the left fielder, I should say the center fielder here for Rochester, New Hampshire. So just underway with the game's first pitch. Ground ball hit down to shortstop. And it's misplayed by Ireland. I've taken a little bit of a bad hop on him. That will be an E4. So Bangor in some early trouble on the error.
Now batting the shortstop, number 7, Keegan Calero.
Going to bring up Keegan Calero, the shortstop. Colford to work from the stretch. He'll bunt it. Fielded by Colford, his only play to go to first. So Rochester, who has not been hitting the ball all that well, playing a little small ball early on.
They're trying to jump out to an early lead.
So Calero lays down the sacrifice bunt. Brings up Christian Dow, another veteran to this team, the first baseman.
Christian, he's only 1 for 8 in the tournament so far.
That pitch over the outside corner for the strike.
Does have a double and RBI. Got on base twice in the tournament so far.
Colford from the stretch. Pitch to the plate. And that's a strike call over the outside corner, and the count goes to 0-2. La Rochelle in the on-deck circle. The designated hitter today in that cleanup spot. They're trying to get to him in a good position here in the top of 1. Pitch fouled back. Dow protecting the plate there, Steve Riley.
Yeah. Slicing that foul ball off to the left side. All aluminum bats in American Legion tournament play.
Ireland, the shortstop, running behind the runner at second. The ball is looped into center field. Brookings will field it on a bounce, and they're going to turn the run around the bag at third, but the cutoff throw to Missbrenner will hold him at third base. So Croteau at third. Christian Dow with a base hit up the middle. That's their first hit of the ball game. And now La Rochelle stepping up to the plate, the designated hitter. In a good spot with runners on the corners.
Yeah.
That's what they were looking for.
Brookings made a good play on that one, Don. That time Croteau had to hold up to see if Brookings might catch it. And Brookings hit the cut man, exactly what he's supposed to do.
So Colford looking in for the sign. Rochelle awaits from the right side. Big swing and a miss on the fastball. The count goes 0-1. Brady Ashley in the on-deck circle, the right fielder today for Rochester, New Hampshire. 385 to straightaway center field. 332 down the line and left. 313 down the line and right. Soft toss to the bag at first.
As big as that outfield is, Don, the balls have a tendency, once they go above the lights, they tend to just drift out of here, as we saw 2 home runs last night. One of them a monster home run over the right center field fence.
Listen, Nikia for Stanford hit the ball out to deep right center field. Adam Stone is at the other home run here. He plays for Stanford. They lost last night. He'll be playing in our second game here today. And the young man that we'll see coming to the plate for Bangor is clouded one out of here. Ethan Stoddard. Pitch foul back. Count remains 0-2. It is a very nice day for baseball today.
Certainly is. A lot of puffy clouds above. As usual, you see all that traffic out on 290 out there. And the left field fence reminds me a little bit of Bridgeport's Bluefish Park, where they have the trains going out the outfield all the time.
Pitch miss high and outside. The count goes 1 ball and 2 strikes. Light breeze blowing the American flag that hangs just next to the right field foul pole. Throw to the bag at first, running it back in time. Fitton Field, certainly a historic facility. Mentioned it a couple of times. Ted Williams, the Hall of Famer for the Boston Red Sox, hit a grand slam here, scoring 3 Hall of Famers in front of him. There's a pitch of the backstop, but it had so much zip on it, there's no chance for Croteau, who's pretty quick to come down the line, and Park did a good job hustling after that. That's a wild pitch.
Yeah, that's the disadvantage of having a short backstop sometimes. And you never know if he's going to ricochet back towards the playing field, so you have to be careful.
So the count now level at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Logan La Rochelle. Colford into the windup. Swing and a miss, and he got him. By the way, on that pass ball, we forgot to check, but Dow took second base smartly.
Yep.
So you got 2 out. First strikeout for Colford here today, and Ashley's going to step up to the plate, the right fielder. Big opportunity for a team that's not hitting all that well. With 2 outs to come up with a clutch hit, might bring home a pair. Trying to take advantage of that early error that put Croteau on.
Well, they don't strike out a ton of times, but they have struck out 9 times in 2 games.
Colford's 1-0. Worked it outside. The count goes 2 balls and no strikes. I believe Colford making his first appearance on the mound.
Yeah. Yep.
Good pitch there to the outside corner. Count goes 2-1. Yeah, Farnham and Stoddard have been the only 2 guys to go for Bangor in this tournament. Beautiful pitch outside corner. If he can hit those locations, Colford's going to be in good stead today. Again, he goes 2-2 here to Ashley. Pitch to the plate, popped up, out of play, off to our left. They haven't opened up the concession stand yet. Been eager for that. Go get a nice hot cup of coffee.
It looks like there's some activity down there now. It's open, I believe, Don.
Well, they just opened it up as we speak. 2-2 pitch, hit on the ground down to second base. Stoddard will field it and got it onto the bag at first for the inning's final out. Good work by Jesse Colford with 2 in scoring position to get the strikeout in the ground ball out. We played a half. The score Rochester 0 and Bangor coming to the plate. Stay with us on Sporting News CT. SportingNewsCT.com.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many
here in the top of inning number 2 is Drew Nickerson for Rochester, New Hampshire in a scoreless game. That pitch missed outside.
Yeah, Nickerson 2 for 6 in the tournament so far, has scored 2 runs.
Had some audio issues there for a second. Had to restart our application that sends a stream to the World Wide Web. Nickerson trying to get things going here for Rochester. They threatened in the first. Had a runner reach on an error, had a base hit. They stranded runners at second and third base.
Nice curveball that time by Jesse Colford.
You got Sean Cormier in the on-deck circle. Colford's 2-2 pitch. Gonna be fouled off. Yeah, Colford's thrown a variety of pitches out there in the mound.
He's got a little pop on the ball.
Yeah.
That zips in there.
Counted 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the top of inning number 2. That was foul tipped into the catcher's mitt and held on to. Sounded like a tip to me, but the plate umpire.
Yeah, it sounded also like I thought it was the dirt or something going into
Absolutely.
the glove. I don't know.
So it's a strikeout anyhow.
Yep.
That's the second of the ball game for Colford. Brings up Sean Cormier. So Cormier, the left fielder for this Rochester, New Hampshire team to dig on into that right-hander's batter's box.
Well, as they go through the challengers bracket, you're going to have the Coffee News Bangor, Maine team a little bit of an advantage, not having used a lot of pitchers.
Ground ball down to Ireland. The throw onto the bag at first. Cormier retired 6-3. 2 quick outs. Brian Lindsay, the catcher, stepping up to the plate here for Rochester, New Hampshire.
Now batting the catcher, number 13, Brian Lindsay.
Lindsay, a left-handed hitter.
This Rochester team down with their colors, reminiscent of Massey's glass colors of Brantford's American Legion team.
Yep.
It was a dominant force in Connecticut, American Legion, for a number of years. There's a ball outside. All the teams vying for their chance to go to Shelby, North Carolina, the American Legion World Series. And that's an unbelievable event.
That pitch over there for the strike call. Good pitch. And there for the strike. Count goes level at 2-2. Lindsay trying to get on with 2 out. Checks the swing. No, he didn't. He went around. That's strike 3, and that's the 3rd strikeout of the ball game for Colford as he just fooled him there. A nice, easy 1-2-3 inning. Back with the bottom of inning number 2 with Bangor coming to the plate. Scoreless game, each team with a hit. You are listening and watching SportingNewsCT.com.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before. And when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work.
All right, welcome right back. Bangor coming to the plate here in the bottom of 2. Matt White, Struck out a pair, gave up a double. Was able to get out of it with a pop-up by Miss Brenner. So Bangor's got Zach Murray, their designated hitter, strolling on up. Ireland and Crichton to follow versus Matt White out in the mound here in the bottom of inning number 2.
Zach Murray's only had one at-bat in the tournament so far, Don. He's got one hit.
Got a perfect average.
Yep.
White, the right-hander with a big leg kick. Pitch outside for ball 1. Just a light breeze today. We don't have that home run breeze right now. As I take a look at the indication on top of the Rodman's Furniture and Carpet building off to our left.
Yeah.
New England's largest furniture and carpet store, by the way.
Cheap plug for Rodman's.
Absolutely. Here comes the 1-1. That's a ground ball hit foul, third base side. Bangor trying to move on to play tomorrow, as is Rochester, New Hampshire here today. The winner of this game will play again tomorrow as part of a pair of games that will be played right here at Fitton Field. Count goes 2-2.
Well, tonight's game is the winner's bracket final between Braintree, right?
That's right.
And Shrewsbury.
2-2 pitch hit towards the gap in right center field. So Murray comes up with another base hit. He's 2 for 2 in the tournament now, and Crichton steps up with one on and nobody out for Bangor.
Well, he earned his way into that starting lineup.
The winner of this game will play tomorrow morning at 10:30 versus the loser of our nightcap game. White, the pitch to the plate, and at the strike, throw to the back at first, and just getting back is Zach Ireland.
Yeah.
Steve Riley was pointing. I looked bewildered, but some folks really starting to make their way into the grandstand now, which is great to see. Some late arrivals coming on by to check things out. Here comes the 0-1. They show bunt with Crichton. The ball goes all the way to the backstop. It was down into the dirt. Lindsay had to chase it down, and they got Island now in the scoring position on a wild pitch.
Now they might try it again. Or with a left-handed batter up, his job now is to try to pull the ball if he can get the right pitch.
Check swing fouled off.
So they were letting him swing away there.
So there is a potential that there would just be one game on Sunday if the team coming out of the winner's game tonight loses tomorrow. They will flip-flop things around if teams have already competed against each other, however. So you don't play the same team twice unless absolutely necessary. Island, the shortstop, digging back in. Count full at 3-2. Matt White delivers.
Close.
And that is ball 4. So now you got runners at first and second with nobody out. That just missed. There was some deliberation, I think, by the plate umpire and by Ireland. Usually see that guy begin to scoot down to the bag when he's pretty sure it's a ball. He kind of hung in there. So Crichton to the plate now, the left fielder, with 2 on and nobody out here on the bottom of 2 for Bangor. Now they are a team that can put up some runs. They did it on day 1 versus Vermont. Vermont and West Hartford, Connecticut, have both been eliminated from the tournament.
And Crichton does have 2 RBIs on the tournament so far, Don.
Yeah, Canardi on deck circle, shows bunt and bunts it foul. This is a great opportunity for Bangor. They get 2 hits in the ball game. Murray with a short lead away from the bag at second. Ireland stepping away from the bag at first. They're predicting bunt on the corners. The bunt tries bunted foul. That went off the knee of Brian Lindsay. That hurt right above the pad.
You know, if he missed that bunt on, the runner could have gotten to third, because that time the shortstop, Calero, ran to cover the bag at second. And the third baseman charged all the way in. There was nobody covering third.
That really hurt Lindsay. That got him like in the funny bone in the knee. I don't know if you've ever been hit there before. Just around that thigh muscle on the inside.
Yeah. He's tough, though. He'll hang in there.
So the first of 3 games here today. Our second game should be a good one. Rhode Island and Stamford at 4:30. Braintree and Shrewsbury, the unbeaten teams, at about 7 o'clock tonight. The championship game will be played Sunday at 1 p.m. with the IF game at 5 p.m. There's a little bunt. White will field it. Only play to first. So with 2 strikes, they keep the bunt sign on, and Crichton does his job. He moves 2 in the scoring position. And Kennard steps up to the plate.
Well, his coach certainly had faith in him to get the job done with 2 strikes.
And he did it. Outfield remains straight away. Cormier in left, Courteau in center, Ashley in right field. Calero and Gosselin are the middle infielders for Rochester. Will they try a bunt again and squeeze them home?
And Crichton is now 2 for 2 for sac bunts.
Nicky Kennard wiggles that bat from the right side just a tad. Here comes the 1-0, and that's going to be whack foul over
Kennard,
towards that concession stand.
Kennard trying to drive that ball into the outfield. The goal is to get it to drop on the outfield grass somewhere.
Ryan Brookings, the number 9 guy in the lineup, on deck. Bottom part of the batting order trying to produce here for Bangor. That pitch missed outside. The count goes 2 balls and 1 strike. When when Matt White misses, my boss is Mike White. Matt White misses. He misses high. Here's the 2-1. That pitch golf foul. Good pitch right there.
Yep.
You folks come out to the ball game over the weekend. If you're watching in Rochester, New Hampshire, and you're coming by for a weekend stay, a lot to do here in Worcester. And the 2-2 pitch is low and away. Count goes full at 3-2. First base is open.
Yeah, you don't want to walk him, though, because then there's the potential to have the top of the order come up after the 9 batter.
Ground ball hit slowly, charged by Calero. Only play to go to first, and he got it there in time to get the out. So Kennard does his job. He makes some contact. That'll bring home Zach Murray with the game's first run. Island of the bag at third, 6-3, and an RBI. So it's 1-0, Bangor. So you got 2 down. So sacrifice bunt paid off in big dividends and a run up on the board. This is Brookings to the plate. Hits it very high in the air. Shortstop Calero will camp underneath it and make the catch for the inning's final out. Damage is done. The leadoff single by Murray. He eventually scores on the ground out by Kennard. And we're through 2 complete. Bangor with a 1-0 lead over Rochester. Back with more after this.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before. And when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship.
All right, welcome right back as we continue. Rochester, New Hampshire coming to the plate. Trailing by the score of 1-0 here into the top of inning number 3. Jordan Gosselin, the second baseman, to lead it off here against Jesse Colford. Colford get out of a jam on the first and get him 1-2-3 in the second inning. His team produced a run in the bottom of the second. That's exactly what you want to see. A nice 1-2-3 inning defensively, then you come up and you score a run.
Gosselin just attempted to get on by a bunt there. He's fouled it off. Gosselin 1 for 7 in the tournament so far, but he does have 2 RBIs, so when he does get on, he does hit it. It's been men in scoring position.
Here comes the 0-1. Looked like he was swinging away there. The element of surprise had gone away. Crichton in left field, Brookings in center, Kennard, the right fielder, playing rather deep in right. Pitch missed outside. The count goes 2-1. Noah Missbrenner, the first baseman. Ethan Stoddard down at second. Zach Ireland, the shortstop. Zach Copawaith is your third baseman. That ball shot out to the left fielder. And Crichton will backpedal and reach up and make the catch. He had to make a little bit of an adjustment, but he did it with a small step, so nice play.
Yeah, got to be careful backpedaling sometimes.
You don't know what's behind you.
Yeah.
Brings up Ricky Courteau, reached on an error, was stranded at the bag at third in the first. Just one error in the ball game. That's kind of been the Achilles heel for Bangor.
This is a guy that's got to get on base for this team to set that table. You can't steal if you can't get on base. He's only 1 for 9 in the tournament so far. He's walked once, struck out once.
Here comes a 2-0, and that's over for the strike. And the count goes 2 balls and 1 strike. Calero on the on-deck circle. Really no circle here. He's on the warning track area, just off to the right of home plate. Dugout for Rochester, New Hampshire on the first base side. On the third base side is Bangor. Both teams wearing the blue tops.
They had that same little bit of near confusion with Stanford and one other team. I forgot the teams. They were like both had navy blue shirts.
Yep. Count goes full 3-2 to Courteau.
Some teams have the home and away jerseys, others don't.
Pitch hit high in the air to the center fielder. Brookings will drift underneath it, reach up and make the catch in center field. And Courteau just a long fly ball out. And you have 2 down. Brings up Keegan Calero, the shortstop, will lay down a sacrifice bunt back in the first, making his first official trip to the plate here in the ball game. Nice to have you with us on this Friday. If you're coming out this weekend, there's some great baseball to be had. Great eateries in downtown Worcester. Lots to do. Not too far from the grand city of Boston. I had a fire at my favorite restaurant in Boston last night.
Really?
On the outside of it. The old Oyster House.
You almost had a fire in the hotel I was at this morning when they tried to do the toaster machine.
Pitch in there for the strike call to Calero. You nearly caused the fire?
No, not me.
Must have been a bagel stuck in there.
Yeah, it just kept smoking and smoking, and then finally somebody pulled the plug.
Nice pitch turning over the inside corner of the plate to the right-handed hitter Calero, and the count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Nobody on the bases for Rochester. There's a ground ball, and it's over the glove of Coperwaith and into left field for a base hit. That took a tough hawk.
They're calling that an E5.
They are going to call it an error. It did glance perhaps off the glove. Took kind of a tough hop
Now
there.
batting the first baseman, number 16.
That's the second error by Bangor in the ball game. Coperwaith tried to get to it, going to his left. Brings up Christian Dow. Singled his first time. So for Rochester, no runs, 1 hit. For Bangor, 1 run, 2 hits, and 2 errors. Another throw to the bag at first. Colford will also plays some second base. Out in the hill. He'll check the runner. He's going to go. Park lost a handle of the baseball. Might have had a shot to get him. Calero's jump from the bag at first was not all that splendid, but he ends up with a stolen base.
Yep, the Spalding High School player just really, he was gone from the get-go. He knew he was going.
So now he's in scoring position for Christian Dow. Count goes 2 balls and no strikes. Park to set the target. They wanted the inside part of the plate. Pitch was outside. Missed the spot. 3-0 the count. At the strike, count goes 3-1 with that constant roll of tire wheels and engines that we hear.
Yeah, you wonder if it put you to sleep.
It tells me I don't want to live in a city near an overpass.
Yeah.
Count 3 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch to the plate, and that's a strike call.
Yep.
Count goes 3-2. Nice pitch by Colford to the outside corner.
Colford
again.
electing to go from the slide step with a runner on second base. He just shakes off 2 pitch calls.
Here comes the 3-2 ground ball. Could be trouble. Finds its way through. Bounces off the lip of the infield grass to the outfield. So Calero held up there a little bit.
Yeah, he held up because he thought the third baseman might get it, so he didn't want to be tagged out. He wanted to give the hitter a chance to get on base, and that's why he just hesitated there. And that hesitation was enough to hold the runner in to third base.
So now you get him on the corners, and here comes La Rochelle to the plate. He's been up in a situation with runners on the corners and struck out. That was back in the first inning, so a little reprieve for him here, perhaps. Opportunity. Strike call right there from Colford. Colford really bears down, doesn't he, when he gets himself in a bit of a jam? Trying to preserve the 1-run lead here in the top of 3. That's a strike 2.
Yep.
Took a little something off that pitch. That might be his version of a changeup right there.
Yeah.
Slow curveball. Count 0-2. Here's the offering, and that's popped up and fouled up. Count remains 0-2 to Logan La Rochelle. Brady Ashley in the on-deck circle. Runners will take the leads. And the pitch is a strike 3 call over the outside corner. He got La Rochelle with a beautiful pitch. Great sequence of pitches there by Jesse Colford, and Bangor remains in the lead. 1-0 back with a bottom of 3 in just a moment.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before. And when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
Tyler Park.
All right, welcome right back. And leading things off for Bangor here in the bottom of inning number 3 is Tyler Park. Struck out his first time. Bangor with a 1-0 lead over Rochester, New Hampshire in this elimination game. The first of 3 today. Joe's bunt, bunts it. Nickerson will field it. Throws it over the ducking Matt White. And they got him by just that much on a very close play.
Second baseman, number 18, Ethan
Nice play by
Spalding.
Nickerson to go get that ball, and Matt White, very intelligent to duck on down. It was gunned right over his head.
He almost had it.
Ethan started to the plate, got home run power, struck out his first time. I like the uniforms on this Bangor team, that navy blue with the gleaming white numbers.
Yeah. One thing about this Bangor team is they've really set up a, a good program up there. Is they're constantly up at the top.
Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Started hits that high in the air and way foul. Boy, if he straightened that thing out, it had a chance to get out of here, perhaps. Count now, 1 ball, 1 strike. Doesn't the University of Maine have a pretty good baseball program throughout the year?
Yep.
So they love their baseball.
One of their coaches recently transferred, though. I think Steve Trimper up there. He ended up taking a job somewhere else.
Here's the 1-1 Stoddard. Stoddard gets underneath that one, pops it up, and it's going to float out a play down that left field line again. Well, they have like a tented area over there beyond the stands.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, down there.
Hasn't
That
been
was like
down
a
there
picnic
yet.
area. They have one down the right field stands as well.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Nobody on here in the bottom of inning number 3. That's Matthew White out in the mound, the right-hander. And the 1-2 pitch. Missed outside. Christian Dow, Gosselin on the right side of the infield. Solero and Nickerson on the left side. Cormier, Croteau, and Ashley in the outfield. From left to right defensively. Don't forget about Lindsay behind the plate. He's been a tough customer already. Here comes a pitch from the Rochester, New Hampshire pitcher, and a swing and a miss by Stoddard, so he strikes out for the second time. And that is the 3rd strikeout in the ball game for
Now
Matthew
batting
White.
Third baseman, number 20, Zach Copperthwaite.
Copperthwaite now stepping up to the plate. He doubled back in the first, was stranded at 3rd. Swings at the pitch and hits it high in the air. Croteau chasing it down. That's way over his head. That's going to carry and go all the way to the wall. Copperthwaite into the bag at second with another stand-up double. He is really hitting the ball today. That's his second extra base hit. And that's a 2-out base runner in scoring position for Noah Misbrenner, who popped up.
Well, in most parks, Don, that's most American Legion parks, it's a home run. Because that ball was hit a long way out there and just rolled to the fence, just to the left of the 386 sign out there. And that's a bomb.
So Misbrenner stepping up to the plate with a chance to deliver for Bangor. Matt White was sailing along until Copperthwaite got to the plate. Pitch strike call. They snap a throw down. Calero caught it behind the bag at second, behind the runner.
Yeah, that was right. Steve Trimper was the head coach of Maine until 2016. Now he's the head coach of Stetson University.
The 0-1. Line drive up the middle, had White ducking. Turning the bag at 3rd is Copperthwaite. The throw from Croteau will be cut off, as he didn't really have to throw it, as they stopped the runner. They did not want to challenge the arm of Ricky Croteau. It's a pretty good arm, and he was charging hard to that ball that was whacked up the middle.
Yeah. It was hit so hard, and that's why. Normally you'd see a runner with 2 outs. You might take a shot on that, but elected not to.
So Murray to the plate. Singleton scored back in the 2nd inning. He's 2 for 2 at the plate in the tournament. So thus far, we have not seen any third base coaches playing the role of a gambler today. They're holding the runners up.
Well, the Maine back players, Don, have appeared in 16 NCAA tournaments and 7 College World Series.
Yes, indeed.
So they have a great program up there. 19 former Black Bears have been in Major League Baseball.
Here's the pitch to the plate to Murray, and that's over for the strike call. Critical moment here for Bangor and for Rochester, New Hampshire. They'll lead from the bags at first and third. Got 2 out in the inning. And that's grounded foul by Murray. Count now 0-2.
Yeah, this is Bangor's 3rd American Legion state title up in Maine in the last 4 years.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of them.
And I guess Colford on the mound for Bangor today was the winning pitcher in that final game.
He's got a 1-0 lead right now, but Bangor trying to add to the 1-0 lead. That pitch down low to Zach Murray. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. White from the stretch will peek at the runner. Ground ball, cued foul, first base side, fielded by Dow in foul territory. Folks getting into the game. Great to see that. Bangor, Maine, we mentioned it, with the longest travel trip to get here to Worcester. There's a ground ball to the third baseman, knocked down by Nickerson, hurries and throws the first, and he got it there. Dow able to keep his foot on the base. That was a great play at both third and first there, Steve.
Yeah, what a great play by Nickerson that time to recover and then just throw an absolute rocket over to first base.
And Dow had to toe the line. Umpire took a long look. It remains 1-0, back with the top of 4 on SportingNewsCT.com.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before. And when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve.
All right, welcome right back as we interrupt our public service announcement from American Legion Baseball and all the great things they do. Actually, American Legion going way beyond what baseball is all about. Some of the more important things. This is Ashley teaching our young men and women about how to live in our society and about education, thinking process, critical thinking. That pitch is fouled back. Ashley grounded out his first time, Steve.
Yep, looking at an article, Don, I was talking to you about it during the break about how Bangor, Maine put together their team this year.
Manufactured it, didn't they? Ground ball, started to field it. Got it onto the bag at first with a high throw. Miss Brenner was alert, made a nice play there, and Ashley retired 4-3.
Now batting the third baseman, number 11, Drew Nickerson.
Yeah, and they had to put together some players from a defunct Motor City team. And just after Bangor High won its 4th consecutive state title.
Nickerson will hit a little slow roller. Starter will charge it. Accurate throw onto the bag at first, and quickly 2 down here in the top of the 4th, and Colford as you mentioned, who won that
Fielder,
state
number 8,
championship
Sean
game to win the
Cormier.
title in Maine.
Yeah.
Looking good here in the
He
fourth.
certainly is. Also was the most valuable player in that tournament.
He's a nice little ball player. Does a nice job.
Said that he struck out 13 batters over 7 2/3 innings at Husson University. Wherever that is.
There's the ball right back to Colford, showing athleticism with a snare on a hard liner from Sean Cormier. Just looked at him like, how did you do that, young man?
Yeah, look what I found.
Beautiful play. 1, 2, 3, they go. We're back with the bottom of 4 in a moment.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before. And when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
All right, welcome right back. Don Boyle, Steve Riley into the bottom of the 4th inning. This is Bangor, Maine to the plate with a 1-0 lead. Just got some snazzy defense from their pitcher. Ireland, Crichton, and Kennar, the scheduled hitters, against Matthew White out in the mound, going through his final warm-up tosses.
Leading off the shortstop, number 4, Zach Ireland.
So here's Ireland to the plate. Walked his first time. Was left at the bag at third. That was a second inning, the inning which they touched up Matt White for a run. First pitch inside, ball 1. Courteau, the center fielder, straight away. Cormier, the left fielder. Ashley, the right fielder. That's fouled off the foot of Ireland. That hurt. Looked like I got him right in the top of the foot there. Would you rather get it off the toes or off the ankle?
I don't know
Take
which.
your pick.
Yeah.
It's all got a sting. Well, it seems like our umpteenth year that we've had a chance to be part of this grand game of baseball presented by American Legion here at the Northeast regional level. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's interesting to see the consistency with some of these programs that come
There's
back.
a lot of programs that do have that consistency. That's why I was surprised when I read about Bangor having difficulty, putting a team together before the year started.
And they had the state championship team at the high school
4
level.
years they won it, plus a state title team in the. Well, who knows why?
Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. White ready to deal it. That's Bangor at the plate. Ground ball hit right to the first baseman. Christian Dow will field it. Island retired 3 unassisted, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Brings up Ben Crichton. Laid down a sacrifice bunt with 2 strikes on him. It was critical. It put a runner, Murray, in the scoring position. I should say, yeah, it was Murray. And the ground ball brought him home. You need to execute. Good to do the little things. Game has a nice summertime pace to it today. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for Rochester, New Hampshire. They're playing the role of visitors today. Home team is Bangor, Maine. 1 run on 4 hits. They've committed 2 errors. Pitch down low. Count goes 2 balls and no strikes. Kanar in the on-deck circle. Matthew White with a total of 3 strikeouts. He's walked just 1 batter. And here comes the 2-0. Ball, that's a strike call. That was going to be outside. I was ready for ball 3 right there. We've seen that high strike call, the outside part of the plate consistently. So the strike zone is from the letters to the outer edge of the plate. Umpires have been pretty consistent with that, all of them. Here's the 2-1. Count goes 3-1. Who will be the state champ, or I should say the New England champ, to represent the Northeast region in Shelby, North Carolina? We'll find out Sunday. That's hit sharply down to Gosselin and got it on the first. Crichton hit it right at the second baseman. 2 down, brings up Kanar.
Well, you know, after this Rochester team, Don, defeated West Hartford to eliminate West Hartford, it actually was a mercy rule game. They won that game, but their pitcher, Christian Dow, on this team actually pitched that game and won that game. Said he wasn't ready to go home. They just didn't want to do it, and he said, quote, "We want another night in a hotel, eat for free, a good bed, all that good stuff." I want to keep on playing.
Christian Dow playing first base today. He's out there in the field right now for Rochester, New Hampshire.
Courtesy of Mike Whaley. I'm reading from his caption on a newspaper article from Fosters.com up there in New Hampshire.
Count 0-2 to Nicky Kanar. Matthew White, 0-2 pitch. Ground ball hit down to Gosselin. Having a busy time. That took a big hop on him. Showed some quick reflexes on the first. And a 1-2-3 inning for Matthew White. We'll be back with a top of 5. It's a slim 1-run lead for Bangor, Maine. More coming your way in just a moment.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
Went home, you mean?
All right, welcome right back as we continue. Steve Riley, you're going solo tomorrow if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I got things going on back home.
You're going to be here on Sunday? Or?
I'll be here Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Wouldn't miss the championship.
Yep.
So Rochester, New Hampshire coming to the plate. Lindsay, Gosselin top of the order, and Courteau all the swing.
Leading off, the catcher,
against
number
Jesse
13,
Colford.
Brian Lindsay.
Colford with 1-2-3 innings in the ball game. He's been stingy, has not given up a run in just 2 hits. Lindsay struck out his first time. 4 strikeouts for Colford in the ball game, Steve.
Yep. He's been stellar.
Finding that strike zone again.
Yeah, nice curveball that time.
Yep.
It got in on the hands of the left-handing hitting Lindsay.
Not that big arcing curveball. It kind of has that quick bite to it as it reaches the plate.
Yeah.
Count goes 1-2 as he missed outside. As soon as he gets it, he wants to throw it. Tyler Park behind the plate to set the target. And the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, another strikeout. That is the 5th of the ball game.
The second baseman, number 15.
Well, both pitchers have been kind of stingy today, with Bangor and Maine only having 1 run. And Bangor came into the game, Don, leading the tournament with runs scored at 16, hits with 21.
Bangor does have 4 hits, but
and Rochester is really one who struggled down there average-wise.
this is Jordan Gosselin, the number 9 hitter for Rochester. Blue uniform topped with gray pants. And they got the red numerals. Courteau in the on-deck circle. Count goes 0-2. Gosselin 0 for 1 with that fly ball out to the left fielder. That's Crichton in left. Time called as Gosselin got something in his eye.
And the only batter who's gotten a hit for this team is Christian Dow.
Way back in the first inning now.
Yeah, and the third, so he's 2 for 2.
We're on to the 5th. There's a ball head high in the air. That's going to find green grass. And a long turn of the bag by Gosselin. He's on with a single. Good bit of hitting between the outfielders Brookings and Kanar. And that's a second hit of the ball game. Third hit of the ball game overall. So it brings up the top of the order. We're here in the 5th inning. And 1 out and 1 on. This is when Colford really gets tough. Pitch missed low and away. Calero in the on-deck circle. Courteau 0 for 2, but has reached on an error. Back of his pants all torn up there on his right leg.
Ripped up, yeah. Diving in the outfield.
1 ball, no strikes to count to Courteau. Another throw to the bag at first. Miss Brenner with that quick sweeping tag. He's going to be aware that he can get that glove down quickly. That time he didn't have a chance. The bunt by Courteau, third base side. Barehanded, Coperwaith can't pick it up. And everybody is safe. That will go as a base hit for Ricky Courteau.
Yeah. It's one way to get off the snide, so to speak, is you're 1 for 11 in the tournament. Just drop one down. Perfectly placed bunt by Courteau.
He stopped it right there on that freshly cut grass. Cut it this morning. So Calero to the plate. He's laid down a sacrifice bunt today, and he's reached on an error. So you got runners at first and second. 4 hits now in the game for Rochester, New Hampshire, and they threatened. They had runners at second and third in the first, and a strikeout and a ground ball out. Got Colford out of that jam. And I'm on the corners in the 3rd inning, and he struck out another batter to get out of a jam.
Barring a double play, the ever dangerous Christian Dow will come up to bat.
He's 2 for 2 today.
Yeah.
There's a ground ball hit down to Ireland. Touch of the bag and on the first, and he got it there in time. Sliding hard into the bag was Courteau. Nice play by Ireland to hop over the hard sliding Courteau in the double play. 6 unassisted to 3 will end the inning. Just what Colford needed. We'll be back with a bottom of 5, Mr. Steve Riley.
Yep.
Got a good one brewing here.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
All right, welcome right back as we continue. It's nice to be with you all as Ryan Brookings will lead it off here for Bangor. They just got that big double play to get out of a threat in the top of the fifth. Now to the bottom of the fifth we go, and Matt White trying to do the job out in the mound for Rochester, New Hampshire. Now Brookings 0 for 1 with a pop up to short. Ball hit high in the air to the right fielder. Ashley going back, and he'll reach up and he'll make the catch. Got a nice jump on that as Brookings lofted it high to the right fielder.
Yeah, made a nice adjustment as he had to turn one way, then turn the other way to get back there.
Brings up Tyler Park, the catcher. He's 0 for 2. Top two batters in the lineup today, Park and Stoddard, have struggled to get on. Matter of fact, they've struck out 3 times combined.
Yep.
Against Matthew White. Park will try to turn that around right here. Fouled it off at the plate. Count 0-1. That's going to be lofted foul. Park in the tournament coming in hitting the ball pretty well. 4 of 7 through 2 games. Pretty aggressive on the base paths in the first couple of games. 6 of 7 in stealing bases there, Steve. So.
Yeah, the team itself, you mean, yeah, they certainly are. So is Rochester. The problem is they've hadn't gotten on base enough.
Count of the ball and 2 strikes to Park. Count goes level at 2-2 with a pitch up high. Well, if you love baseball, we have plenty of it coming your way today. 2 more games to go. Next one scheduled for 4:30. And the 2-2. That's a strike call. Actually, yeah, it was a ball. 3-2. Thought I heard a yell out strike, but it was a ball. Started in the on-deck circle.
We had any news about the Junior American Legion tournament?
Haven't heard much.
They're playing up in Bangor.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
That pitch just missed outside, and Park able to travel the first via walk.
Now batting the second baseman.
That is the second walk issued by White here today.
Park 2 for 3 on stolen base attempts.
So Ethan Stoddard, who was struck out twice here in this early afternoon, up to the plate. A pitch from White, down low from Matthew. Down the first baseman, Gosselin at second, Calero and Nickerson around the rest of the infield. Lindsay behind the plate, Cormier, Courteau, and Ashley, they remain in the outfield. No changes yet for either team. Again, Stoddard rips one, but foul. Really turned on that.
There's a lot of power. When he does hit it, it's going to go.
Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Ground ball hit foul down the third baseline again.
Fans,
He really rips it.
Yeah, he does.
All
Hits it
foul
hard.
balls to the Legion 10 next to the press box. Thank you.
Counted 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out and 1 on here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The lone run of the ball game scored in the second by Bangor on a ground ball out. That's Rochester in the field. Pitch low and away, and a beautiful stop by Lindsay. That will help hold the runner at first.
That guy can get in the scoring position.
You know, Park 2 of 3 stealing bases, but they kept him anchored at the bag at first with one out here and started at the plate. Yeah, hoping Stoddy can get a hold of one. Duplicate what he did in game 1 of this tournament when he hit a home run to left field. The 2-2, and he drives one down the left field line. It's going to be a foul.
Yeah.
Started really hanging in there. Matthew White. You don't want to leave the pitch up in the strike zone with this young man at the plate. Let's see what White will do here. Not worrying too much about the runner at first base. You got the center fielder shaded towards left center, as you might expect. Pitch to Stoddard, reaches out and pops it up. Shallow center field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. Calero gave it a chase along with the second baseman Gosselin, and that had some eyes on it for Stoddard. And they got something brewing here in the 5th with 2 on and 1 out.
Looped it over that head there. That's all you got to do. They call that a Texas leaguer, as they used to call it.
Copperthwaite now stepping up to the plate, 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. He'd like to duplicate that now.
Yeah.
There's going to be a conversation before anything takes place. They're coming out of the dugout to have a chat. Rochester does not want this game to get away. Only 1-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Plate umpire says, I've waited long enough. Let's get this ball game going. You and I were talking on our way over here at different locations where they've held the Northeast Regional. And my favorite spot is Old Orchard Beach in Maine.
Old Orchard Beach,
by far. A lot to do, and you got the beaches.
Yeah. Seemed like the players enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. Except a little too much ice cream. Copperthwaite the waits. The pitch, ground ball, hit down to Calero at short. They get the out at the back at second and on the first. And they got the double play. Good transfer throw by Jordan Gosselin to Dow. 6-4 and 3, and that will end the inning, and that's just what they needed. Some good defense by Rochester, New Hampshire. We're through 5 complete now, and the score, Bangor on top, 1-0.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before. And when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's...
All right, welcome back. Christian Dow to lead it off, the first baseman, 2 for 2 today. Coming to the plate for Rochester. They were hoping to get him to the plate in the 5th inning since he's wielding a real hot bat, but a double play took Bangor out of any threat. And Dow swings at the first pitch, coming on the center fielder, and a sliding catch by Ryan Brookings. Coming towards the infield, a beautiful grab there. He got a great jump on it, and Dow robbed of a base hit.
Yep, nice play that time by Ryan Brookings. He ran in and slid on that outfield grass. Makes the catch, hangs onto it.
Brings up Logan La Rochelle, who struck out twice against Jesse Colford. Pitching on the hands and fouled off. Colford will come at you from a couple of different angles out there in the mound. Likes to peek over the glove as he does now. Missed inside. Really snaps the ball when he comes over the top, doesn't he?
He does. He gets good movement on it.
Yep. That pitch low and away. He's a little upset with himself for missing that pitch. Kicked at the mound. Brady Ashley in the on-deck circle. No runs, 4 hits for Rochester. Fouled off the plate umpire, maybe a bit of the catcher too. Count level at 2-2. Colford looking for his 6th strikeout of the ball game. Count's going to go full 3-2. Has he walked a batter yet?
No.
He has not. Here's the 3-2 offering. Ground ball hit down to short. Ireland will field it, bobble it, collects, throws the first, a little bit offline, sweep tag by Misbrenner, and he's safe.
Yeah, he bobbled that one there.
That's a tough break. Ireland got over there quickly. That is the 3rd error down by Bangor in the game. They haven't heard as of yet.
Looked like he just, when he went to get a grip on the ball, he lost it a little bit, then had to hurry it.
Brady
nice
Ashley.
effort that time by Misbrenner down at first base, trying to make that tag.
Indeed.
Just missed him.
Ashley swings at the first pitch and popped it out. And out to Stoddard. Stoddard really covering some nice ground out there. Get underneath it. So you have 2 down on a swing, and Drew Nickerson to the plate. Drew has struck out and grounded out today.
11, Drew Nickerson.
We're here in the top of the 6th. This game moving along. I'm not keeping up with the scoreboard. I'm a couple of outs behind all the time. So we're in the 6th. That pitch in there for the strike call. Got Cormier in the on-deck circle. Colford looks very, very confident out there. Here's the 0-1. Missed inside. He loves those quick outs.
Yeah, he's a 5th-year player for this team.
Yeah. You can tell he loves baseball.
Yeah. He's one of the veterans that they had before they just combined the different teams.
As a strike. Well, looks like they gelled just perfectly.
Yeah.
Time has been called. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes to Drew Nickerson, the 3rd baseman today for this Rochester, New Hampshire team. Checks the swing and fouled it back. The count remains at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Count goes 2-2. That pitch missed inside.
Yeah, just up and in to Nickerson.
La Rochelle has not been a threat to run at the bag at first. That pitch inside, it hit him. That one got away from Colford.
First freebie he's given today.
So an error and a hit batter has put 2 on base with 2 down, and Cormier to the plate, who has lined one sharply back to the pitcher. Great play by Colford to snare it. And he has also grounded out 6-3. So here in the 6th inning, Rochester, New Hampshire trying to put something together. They need a key hit.
Hit another
pitch,
batter.
and that glanced him.
Yeah.
So Comrie down to the bag at first. Hit by pitch, and that's going to load the bases.
Yeah.
Ryan Lindsay to
that
the
ball,
plate.
he's just not getting that grip on it.
Lindsay has struck out twice.
Certainly upset with himself. It looks like he's got a brand new ball to rub up now. Well, Lindsay has struck out twice. He's trying to see if he can get something done here.
Here's the moment in the game. He'll swing at the first pitch. Towering drive, deep right center field, and that's over the head of Brookins to the front of the warning track. They round the bases, and 3 will score. A 3-run double by Brian Lindsay.
Well, Brian Lindsay just took that first pitch, and that's what happens. You hit 2 guys in a row, and you just try to put the ball down over the plate, and you get an aggressive swinger who struck out twice already. He doesn't want to strike out again, so he's going to swing at that fastball. And he just bombed it into right center to clear the bases.
So Rochester, New Hampshire, just like that, with a snap of the fingers, they jump out to a 3-1 lead on their 5th hit of the ball game. So the error and 2 hit batters really hurting Bangor here in the top of the 6th inning. Gosselin grounds one to short. Bobbled by Island. Throw on the first and not in time.
Yep.
That's going to put runners at first and third.
And you can see the catcher trying to be a team leader here, and I like that. Bring all the players together in the infield. You know, he wants to talk it up with everybody.
Courteau's going to be the 8th batter to come to the plate when the conversation ends out on the hill.
Yeah.
So 2 errors and 2 hit batters and a 3-run double. Has changed the
home plate
complexion
umpire
of this
walks
game.
out there.
Yep.
Now the way to keep this going is the coach now can walk out there, right, and keep the powwow going. There'll just be a visit to the mound.
All right, everybody going back to their respective spots. Courteau to step in. He singled his last plate appearance, and that was on the 5th. All of a sudden, they just get to Colford, really because of the error and 2 hit batters.
The hit batters both scored.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Going away. I was talking about the composure of Jesse Colford. Let's see if he can regain that here. Needs a little help from his defense, too. Really should have been in the dugout before he hit those batters.
Yep.
Tough game of baseball.
Well, all the pitcher can do is once he lets it go, you know, is have the rest of the guys do the jobs. That's all you can do.
Nice pitch to
so
the
you have
inside
to focus
corner.
on each pitch.
Yep.
Focus on each pitch one at a time.
Calero in the on-deck circle. Bright sunshine here in Worcester, Massachusetts right now. That's a strike call over the outside corner, and the count goes 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's the spot Colford was hitting earlier in the ball game.
Yeah, Bangor and Maine coming into the game down was last in team fielding. It certainly hurt him today.
They have committed 4 errors today.
Yeah.
1-2, runner goes. That pitch missed and not going to throw down. So Gosselin able to take second. Now you get 2 in scoring position for the leadoff man, Ricky Courteau. Count level at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shouts of find the hole.
And
That's
none
fouled
of these runs will be earned, right? Because the 3rd out should have happened.
That's right. Should have happened a long time ago in this half inning. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled off again by Courteau. Chased a high fastball there. Winner of this game plays again tomorrow. Opponent to be determined on the outcomes of the later games. And then they'll establish the time. Pitch outside, count goes full 3-2. You do have first base open. You got Calero in the on-deck circle. popped up. Miss Brenner over to watch it fly into the stands and crash along those aluminum seats up there. Got some nice seating here, very comfortable seating behind home plate.
Yeah, box seats.
Yeah. They go down towards the first and third base bag, and then you see the aluminum seats beyond that.
Yeah, from dugout to dugout, box seats.
Here's the 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss and a strikeout for Jesse Colford. Well, he's leaving the mound with his head hung a little low. Got a little trouble there, a couple of errors, a couple of hit batters, and that bases clearing double by Brian Lindsay has put Rochester on top. 3-1, back with the bottom of the sixth in just a moment.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
Well, welcome back to Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field at the College of the Holy Cross, where Rochester's Brian Lindsay, with one swing of the bat, has put his team ahead here as we move on to the bottom of the sixth inning. Leading it off for Bangor, Maine, will be Noah Missbrenner. Noah is 1 for 2 on the game, has singled and popped to short. Still on the mound for Rochester's Matt White, and his goal now is to try to put up a 0. And the first pitch is inside for ball 1 to the power-hitting Noah Missbrenner. And let's see how Bangor, Maine responds after that uncharacteristic inning. A couple of hit batters and a couple of errors allowed them to fall behind by the score of 3-1. It's now 2-0 now to Missbrenner. White with the windup and the pitch, and it's in there for strike 1. 2 balls and White's 1 strike now to Noah. Bats with that open stance and then steps in towards the pitcher. Here's the 2-1. That's in there for a strike, right on that waist-high upper outside part of the plate that the umpires have consistently called as a strike. It's the 2-2. There's a line drive, 1 hopper, right through the legs. The shortstop, Keegan Calero. And just like that, the first error of the game for Rochester post 7 allows Bangor to get the lead-off hitter on first base here in the bottom of the 6th, with Bangor trailing 3-1. Zach Murray steps up to the plate now. Looks at his third base coach to get his signs. Murray scored and singled. Grounded out to third so far this afternoon. From the slide step, there's the pitcher White. Throws that one in the dirt, so it's 1-0 to Zach Murray. And there's strike. And that one's pop foul. Or grounded foul, rather. White comes set, foot against foot. Glove around chin height, deals a slow curve. That one misses, up and out. So the count is even now. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Zach Murray. Zach Murray, we said, was 1 for 1 in the tournament coming into this game. So he's now 2 for 3. Here's the pitch. Line drive, base hit into left field. A 1-2 hopper to the left fielder Cormier. And just like that, Bangor has got the first 2 batters of the game on base.
Now batting the shortstop, number 4, Zach Ireland.
6th hit of the game for Bangor. As they're out hitting Rochester 6-5, but trailing 3-1. And here's the pitch. They show bunt, and they call a strike. It's the lefty, Zach Ireland. Just showed bunt there. Took a pitch. Ireland walked and grounded out to the first baseman. So far this afternoon, right fielder out there, Brody Ashley, not playing too deep. And here's the pitch. He did show bunt, a great bunt, but it may roll foul, and it does as it picks up by Brian Lindsay. Hustled out of that catcher's box to get it before it could roll back fair. So now it's 0-2 to Murray as he retrieves his aluminum bat. I'm sorry, that's Ireland rather. Sorry about that. Murray down at first. Missbrenner down at short. The pitch from White. Popped up foul back to the concourse area behind the press box. Matt White comes set. And now moving behind is Christian Dow at first. There's a fly ball to left field. Tailing, now turning is the left fielder, and he makes the catch. Score that one an F7, and now there's one out.
Number 23, Ben Crichton.
So Ireland couldn't advance the runners. Here comes Ben Crichton now at a sac bunt in the 2nd inning, grounded out to second base in the 4th. Runners remain at 1st and 2nd. That's Noah Missbrenner at second base and Zach Murray at 1st. And here's the slide step. There's a liner that's tailing foul down the left field line towards the Comrades bullpen. The American flag continues to wave proudly from the right field foul pole. The tractor trailers ride by out there in the outfield. Beyond the outfield, White looks at the runner at second, now deals. There's a ground ball towards the shortstop. This could be 2. Over to second for 1. Back to first, not in time. Ball just bounces away a little bit from the first baseman. Dow, but he retrieves it. So score that one a 6-4 fielder's choice. And now we have runners at the corners with 2 outs.
Fielder, number 19, Nick Kennard.
It brings up Nick Kennard. And there's a ball over to first. It's thrown away, and that error is going to allow the runner to score. So the E1 there makes the game a 3-2 ball game. And on the play Crichton scoots down to second base. Now there's some discussion with the base umpire. And stepping out and back in the box is Brookings. I'm sorry, it's Kennard. And there's a strike. Kennard trying to get this Bangor team back in it to tie it up if with one swing of the bat is Matt White trying to hold it at a 3-2 ball game. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to second base. And Gosselin gets it, throws it over to Dow. In the inning, comes to a conclusion. Well, for Bangor, Maine here in the bottom of the sixth inning, they come up with one run on one hit. And there were two errors and one runner left on base. That's the eighth runner left on base for Rochester here today. Well, we're moving on to the seventh inning. The score now is Rochester post 7-3 and the Bangor Coffee News Comrades 2.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before. And when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why.
All right, welcome right back, and leading things off is Keegan Calero. Tried to bunt, and he popped it up there, Steve the Park, and you have one down here in the top of the seventh as Rochester to the plate.
Number 16, Christian Dow.
Brings up Christian Dow. He's 2 for 3. Was robbed of a 3 for 3 afternoon by a beautiful catch by Ryan Brookings. Diving catch coming towards the infield. 3-2 your score now. Errors have hurt both teams today. Pitch over for the strike from Colford. Total of 6 errors between the two squads. 3-2 your score. That's hit foul. 3 runs on 5 hits and 2 errors by Rochester, New Hampshire. They're at the plate. Bangor in the field, 2 runs on 6 hits. They've committed 4 errors today. Pitch missed outside. Here comes a 2-1. Ground ball hit down to Stoddard. Fields it. On the first low throw. Miss Brennan did a nice job scooping it over there. And you have 2 down quickly at the top of the 7th, and Logan LaRochelle to the plate. He's 0 for 3, but he's reaching an error and scored a run.
Yes, he Stoddard over there, pointing to his teammate, Miss Brenner, as he knows the Miss Brenner. Scooped that one out.
Yeah, he made a nice play on it. And LaRochelle hits it right at the left fielder. Crichton hardly had to move, and that's an easy inning for Colford. Boy, caught him eyes on the pitches and alike. And we're back with the bottom of 7th. We're going to stretch here at Fitton Field, Hanover Insurance Park. Back with more of the 2017 Northeast Regional.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before. And when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
All right, right back here. Ryan Brookings leading it off the Bangor, Steve, in the bottom of the 7th inning. They're down by a run, trying to chip away. They actually had a 1-0 lead until the top of the 6th, and then they gave up 3. Came right back with a run of their own in the bottom of the 6th inning, which is critical.
Yeah. Also, it's critical, too, is they just got that quick run, quick inning right there. Get right back out there to hit.
Go back to that catch by Brookings in the ballgame. That's a big moment here. Now he's got a ball that's going to roll down the left field line in fair territory all the way to the corner, and Brookings is going to dig his way for 2.
Yep.
That's a leadoff double. Brings up Tyler Park.
There's some activity in the Rochester bullpen now.
Number 6, Tyler Park.
So the catcher steps up to the plate. He is walked. He's 0 for 2. Got started in the on-deck circle. Pitch count's got to be getting up there a bit for Matt.
Yeah, it looks
White.
like Drew Chaneller, or I can't really pick that one up. Let me just see from this roster. This is
So Matthew White to work from the stretch with a runner on. That pitch is outside the Park.
Oh, it's Chandler Drew. Okay. That's why I couldn't pick that up. It's Chandler Drew. Looks like he's warming up in the right field bullpen right now for Rochester.
Matthew White to deal it. Strike call. Good pitch. They put ball up on the board there. I think it's 1-1. Yeah, it is 1-1.
Yeah. Tyler Park now has bunted at one time, but he didn't get it down. Didn't place it in the perfect spot.
Big swing and a miss. And the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Plate umpire trying to help him out here in the booth, but they're not paying attention to it. White would love a strikeout here. And he got him. Strike 3. Park tried to check the swing. I think that pitch was over the plate, however, and that's a huge strikeout for Matthew White. That is only his 4th of the ball game.
4th of the ball game, yeah. We had a question for the home plate umpire. I think he was asking if it was a strike or not before he tried to check that swing.
Going to bring up Ethan Stoddard. They're coming out of the dugout. They got first base open here. Stoddard certainly coming with a great reputation, and he's hit the ball foul a lot today.
Yeah.
Also has a big single. He's 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. So what do you do when you get such a dynamic hitter coming up to the plate?
Well, especially since it's his 4th time around facing the pitcher. But his base hit was a bloop. So the tendency of Stoddard is to pull the ball. And then when he did go the opposite way, it was just a bloop single. So he doesn't have enough strength to do that. But, you know, it's very hard to tell a pitcher throw strikes but not perfect strikes. You know, that's very difficult to do.
Maybe try to pitch Stoddard away.
Yeah. And it's the old adage, do you want to walk the winning run on base, you know?
Yeah, the guy behind him has 2 doubles today, upper weight, so there's a Ball that's chopped to the third baseman. Nickerson, nice play, comes up gunning, throws the first, and it's off the chest of Dow, and he's safe there. He really had to hurry to throw. His starter was hustling down the line.
See if they give him an error on that play.
And they will call that an error on the third baseman. So now I got him at first and second. Copperthwaite with 2 doubles, 1 in the first and 1 in the third. Hit into a 6-4-3 double play in the 5th inning. Matthew White would love another one of those, wouldn't he?
He certainly would. I think the shortstop's playing him a little bit to pull. And if I remember right, his last time it was just a straight double play towards the shortstop.
Up 6-4-3.
They're holding the runner on first, which you don't sometimes see. He's trying to turn the double play that way. If they get the double play, they're trying to hold the runner, I guess, from getting a big enough jump down there, but you don't usually see that.
Count 2 balls and no strikes to Copperthwaite. And the 2-0 pitch. Count goes to 3-0. Matthew White being a bit cautious. They got Noah Misbrenner on deck, who was 1 for 3 in his reach on an error. And he hits the ball very hard. This is a real tough part of the batting order to face in this situation for Rochester, New Hampshire. The pitch, over for the strike, and the count goes 3-1. Here comes the 3-1. Hit out to right field. Ashley started in and then had to adjust and float back. They will tag the runner from second to third with the throw coming to the infield. So Brookings just 90 feet away from tying things up here. Misbrenner to the plate.
Yeah, the question there was whether or not you allowed Copperthwaite to be turned loose on the 3-0. They elected not to, so you had the fastball for a strike and then the fly ball to right.
Croteau, the center fielder. Ashley, the right fielder. Cormier in left field. He's ready. The pitch, that's going to be turned foul. Looped up into the stands by Noah Misbrenner.
Yeah, that was a fastball in the hands of Misbrenner.
Wind picking up a tad. And the pitch dribbles off the end of the bat, and the count is 0-2. They have secondary sights in place in case the weather were to turn. There is a report of perhaps some storms moving through. The wind's starting to pick up a little bit here. It was rather still earlier. That's hit out to right field. That's going to be a base hit, charged by Ashley, and the tying run will score. Brookings will cross, and Misbrenner with a key 2-out RBI single.
Yeah, that was no question about that one, as Misbrenner just lined that ball out in the right field.
So they've tied it at 3 here in the 7th. And it's going to bring up Zach Murray. He's been hot hitting in the tournament. He's got 2 hits today, 3 overall. He's 2 for 3. 3 for 4 in the tournament. Single to lead off the second, eventually scored. Well, Bangor showing you why they're the best hitting team here in the tournament thus far. And there's a ball hit to left field. That's going to find the gap. Homie will chase it down. Starter's going to cross the plate. Nobody covering third, and sliding in with a throw, getting there simultaneously, and he's safe is Misbrenner. That is a base hit and an RBI. Misbrenner hustling all the way to third. And Bangor now leads it by the score of 4-3 here in the 7th. They have 10 hits in the ball game.
Yeah, another solid hit, and it looks like that's going to be all for Matt White.
So White lasting 6 2/3. He'll be responsible for the 2 base runners. and we'll take a break. We'll be back in just a moment.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until...
All right, welcome right back. They have taken the right fielder, Brady Ashley, and put him on the mound. He's gone through his warm-ups, and Matt White has moved from the hill to play right field. So your outfield is Cormier, Courteau, and White for Rochester, New Hampshire, with Ashley on the hill. Dow and Gosselin remain on the right side of the infield. Calero and Nickerson on the left side with Lindsay behind the plate. Ireland coming on up. He's 0 for 2 with a walk today. Well, 6 2/3 for Matt White.
Yeah.
Gave up 4 runs, 10 hits.
Ireland was 3 for 7 coming into this game. 1 RBI.
And the pitch from the lefty is over for the strike call. They're on the corners. Bangor with a 1-run lead. They have battled back here from a 3-1 deficit. They didn't waste any time doing it either. Pitch over for the strike.
Yeah, because the Rochester went down 1-2-3 in the inning after they got their second run.
Ashley shakes off the side. Time called by the left-handed hitting shortstop, Zach Ireland. Runner's going to go first to second, pitch outside. They're going to throw down, cut off. Here comes a runner home.
He scored.
And they got the runner hung up at the bag at first and second. They'll put the tag.
They got the run.
Les Brenner scored on the play. Run will count. Good job by Murray to extend that long enough that Miss Brenner got along. So they tried that cutoff throw. It didn't work out for him there, Steve.
Nope. And just the one thing you don't want to do with 2 outs is allow a run score, and Rochester did.
5-3 now through 7. We'll be back with the top of the 8th.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help.
All right, welcome back. Brady Ashley to the plate began the day as the right fielder. He's now the pitcher. out on the mound. Save opportunity for him. Actually, no, Rochester's trailing. What am I talking about? 5-3 is scored.
Yeah, Colford's back on the mound.
Those uniforms finally got me.
Yeah.
Colford's been steady today, only allowing the 3 runs and 5 hits, despite his team making 4 errors behind him. I mean, that's pretty good numbers
Yeah,
when you think about it.
Yeah.
Got him 1, 2, 3 in the 7th. He's had 3 1, 2, 3 innings today. Ashley is 0 for 3 against him. The count goes 2-0.
Well, the key also is Rochester's left 8 men on base, you know. So he's been able to leave. Even when they did score, they left men on base.
Got a key double play back in the 5th inning. Pitch over for the strike call. Ground ball hit down to Stoddard. Picks it up and zings low to first, and again, Miss Brenner able to just flash the glove. Beautifully done. He's been fun to watch over there at first base.
Yeah, a couple of good scoops, and you see Stoddard walking towards him to talk again. Is it, you know, saying, gee.
I got to get that throw a little higher to you there. This is Drew Nickerson to the plate. Nickerson hit by a pitch and scored. All the damage for Rochester, New Hampshire came in the 6th inning. On an error, 2 hit batters, then a 3-run double by Brian Lindsay. Really the only bump in the road for Colford here today. That pitch in there for the strike, and the count goes 1-1. Foul straight back. Woonsocket, Rhode Island, and Stamford, Connecticut in our next matchup. Slated for 4:30 today. That pitch hit hard in the left field. Drew Nickerson with his first hit of the ball game. He's now 1 for 3. And Rochester, New Hampshire down by 2 runs, 5-3, trying to put something together here in the top of the 8th inning. Sean Cormier to the plate.
Yeah, that was a curveball down, but that time it just hung about over the middle of the plate, and Nickerson was able to pull it.
Cormier's been hit by a pitch. He's 0 for 2 overall, playing left field.
Yeah, there is activity in the Bangor bullpen.
Pitch inside, nearly clipped him.
Nearly hit him. Yep.
Count 1 ball, no strikes. Colford not afraid to go inside. The result has been 2 hit batters today. Let's see if he goes inside again. Got the strike call over the inner portion of the plate. That wind has died down a little bit. I think that's good news.
Yeah, Zach Murray, the DH, is warming up down there. I don't know if he's warming up to go in the game or to
1-1 pitch hit up the middle, fielded, bobbled, and well, Ireland tried to get it over to the base at first, but he'll get the force. Looked like it was ready-made for a second there. Cannot assume an error, so no error on that play. Just a fielder's choice for Cormier. 6 unassisted on the putout.
The catcher, number 13,
Brian Lindsay, who got that booming double, put his team ahead temporarily. Now up.
Lindsay, the hard-nosed catcher. He's been bumped up a little bit today. And the pitch to the plate down low. We've had 1 injured player in this tournament, and hopefully he's going to be okay. It was
Nicky Martin.
Counted out, Nick Martin. Yeah. Catcher for Shrewsbury. The game last night versus Stamford, trying to steal second. He did steal it. Slid real hard into the bag. Seen a lot of hard steals into second base in this tournament. It's really
they play
playing at their highest
under
level.
Major League Baseball rules.
Over for the strike.
Force play at second base, a little bit different under Federation high school rules.
Count 2 balls and 1 strike here to Lindsay.
Well, I remember Major League Baseball did modify the slide rule as a result of a broken leg, right?
Ankle, I believe, yeah. Pitch fouled off. Count now 2-2. Well, some claim that might have been an illegal slide.
Yeah, I know.
Under the base path. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Dustin Pedroia got banged up on a interesting slide into a bag. That pitch hit high into the air to the center fielder. Brookings, who's already made a wonderful catch here today, will make that one routinely. And that will do it for Rochester in the inning. They'll leave a runner on. We got a 5-3 score as we make our travail into the bottom of inning number 8.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
All right, welcome right back to the bottom of the 8th inning in Bangor, Maine. Feeling pretty good, leading 5-3. Big 3-run 7th inning to take the lead. And Ireland back up to the plate. He was standing there when Misbrenner scored on the delayed steal. Rochester, New Hampshire tried to get a little tricky with a throw down of the bag at second, but Misbrenner snuck across the plate before the runner going first to second was tagged out. It was Murray. I believe it was 2-6-3-4 on the tag. Pitch in there for the strike called Ireland.
Yeah, that was a big extra run.
Huge. Ashley in relief of White, and that's fouled off the foot of Zach Ireland. Second time he's done that today. Digs back in, wears a batting glove on each hand. Count goes full 3-2. He's looking down into the bullpen. Is Rochester making sure they got a guy ready? Actually, that's Bangor, and that's ball 4. So Ireland will walk to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. Brings up Ben Crichton.
Ben Crichton.
Crichton today has reached on a fielder's choice. Laid down a sacrifice bunt, officially 0 for 2. Has Ashley appeared in this tournament out in the mound prior? I don't think so.
For Maine? Or no, for
Rochester?
For Rochester? No. Sorry, for Rochester. Nope, they haven't.
Bunt attempt. Snap throw to the bag at first. Bellying back is Ireland.
Yeah, that time Crichton, though, tried to go after a drag bunt, which, you know, it's different than a sack bunt.
The pitch was up over his head.
Yeah, you don't have to, like, go flying down the base paths, and I think that's what his coach is going to talk about.
Going to straighten him out here a little bit. Coach him up, son. You like that when they come out there and lend some advice, work on the technique a little.
Yeah.
What it's all about. American Legion Baseball great preparation for high school and collegiate players. And we had 4 former American Legion baseball players inducted into the most recent Baseball Hall of Fame, including Chris Bagwell. Out of Middletown, American Legion ball, Xavier High School. I guess he was a better soccer player than he was a baseball player in high school. He was all state. He was a property of the Red Sox. They traded him away. I think it was Lou Gorman who traded him away way back when. Lou was a great guy. He was a great guy, man. He was a friendly, friendly man. Went to Stonehill College. Had a chance to meet Lou Gorman and become friendly with him when I first got on the radio. Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah, really nice guy. 2-1, swing and a miss. Might be wrong with Lou being the GM at the time. It was right around that time when he was trying to put the Red Sox together to win a World Series. Came close. Pitch hit high in the air by Crichton. Center fielder coming on, and that's a long run on a drifting ball, and Courteau covers some ground and makes the catch. He hasn't really had to make too many difficult catches in center field. He's been fun to watch throughout the years.
Yeah, he's got a lot of speed, though. I mean, you know, I remember him last year in this tournament making a lot of catches out there. And he could run. Just hasn't done as well with the bat as he'd like to for this team.
Here's Nicky Kennard. Kennard today produced an RBI with a ground ball out back in the second inning, put Bangor on top. They got the runner on a good throw, and they got the good throw, and the tag made by Calero. So Ireland really never got a great jump there. And a good throw by Brian Lindsay from behind the plate. 6'4", he's retired, caught stealing. I should say 2'6". Where am I going? 6'4". I should go play the lottery. I use so many different numbers.
Yeah.
Kennard's going to swing, hit that high in the air, and that's going to find the right field gap all the way to the wall. Kennard digging for 3, and he's got 3 as the ball finally into the shortstop, Calero. Well, the what ifs. They would have had another run if Ireland hadn't tried to swipe a base.
Yeah, hadn't gotten thrown out. Well, you know, on that play, you can see the pitcher out there, the former pitcher, Matt White. Now he knows what it's like to run out to the fence. And somebody else gives up a bomb.
That's the 11th hit of the ball game for Bangor. They got some guys that can belt it. Up and down the lineup, too.
Yeah.
This is Brookings. Pitching on the hands. We're here in the bottom of the 8th. They'd love one more run. A little more breathing room. Now looking ahead for Rochester. Gosselin, Courteau, and Calero, the scheduled hitters. That's 9, 1, and 2 in their batting order. That ball hit the center field. Center fielder coming on, and Courteau can't make the catch. Tried to get it on the backhand side. A run scores. And in the second base sliding goes Ryan Brookings. That's going to be an RBI. What an effort there by Courteau. Nearly came up with it.
Almost.
Another extra base hit.
Number 6, Tyler Park.
Brings up Tyler Park. Tried to take it on the backhand side there when he rolled around. It came out. I think he had it when the umpire originally said it was out of the glove.
Yeah, then it just rolled out. He rolled to a visual.
Absolutely.
If he rolled behind him, if the ball dropped behind him, he might not be able to see it come out.
So Park to the plate, still looking for his first hit of the ball game. He struck out twice. So that's a key run for Bangor. Now a 3-run lead at 6-3.
Scoreboard hasn't put it up yet.
Yeah. The 1-1 just missed outside. Here comes a 2-1, and that's a strike call, a level to count it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch. And the count goes full at 3-2. Very pleasant temperatures right now. A little bit of a breeze. A little warmer outside in the sun. 3-2 pitch. Hit high in the air to the left fielder. Drifting on back is Cormier, and he'll make the catch for the inning's final out. So now Rochester, New Hampshire, if they want to stay in the tournament, they know what work they have to do. They need to score 3 just to tie. We're back with a top of 9. Bangor, perhaps on their way to play again tomorrow with a great effort here. 6-3, they have the lead as we move on to the 9th.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
Well, welcome right back. Some changes for Bangor. They bring Noah Misbrenner on the pitch. He's the big right-hander. They have taken Stoddard from second base and moved him out to right field.
Number 1.
They have taken the designated hitter Murray and put him at the bag at second, and Austin Sheehan has come out of the dugout to play first base. This is Gosselin to lead it off, and the first pitch is a tad high for ball 1. So 8 strong innings from Jesse Colford here today.
He certainly pitched really well.
In line to pick up the win.
They had 6 hits, 5 strikeouts on 2 hit batters, no walks. He had that one blip in his outing, really, in that one inning where he hit the 2 batters.
Strike call. Tyler Park still behind the plate. Austin Sheehan at first. Zach Murray now playing second. You got Zachary Island at the shortstop spot. Couple waits at the bag at third. Crichton, Brookings, and Stoddard in the outfield from left to right now. Count 2-2. Misbrenner's pitch missed inside, and the count now full 3-2. Don't want to walk the leadoff guy. Swing and a miss. He got the strikeout. Ball drop. Park with the mask off. Will find that throwing angle.
Safe.
And safe there.
Yep.
At the bag at first is Gosselin.
Yeah, he tried to throw it over instead of yelling outside as you normally do when you're a catcher. Yell what direction, whether inside or outside, and that's what that throw just went up the line.
And Sheehan just inserted into the game, too. That became a difficult play. Did a good job just to knock it down and make it close.
No. So they'll probably give that error to the catcher, I would imagine.
So the strikeout is recorded by Misbrenner, but no out, and there's a runner on top of the order, and Ricky Croteau to the plate. He singled back in the 5th. There's also reach on an error here today. That's a strike call over the outside corner. Well, Park was trying to find that throwing angle, just couldn't do it.
Yeah, just couldn't throw it. He had to hurry because, you know, the runner's fast.
There's strike 2 over the outside corners. Miss Brenner using the curveball. Count 0-2. Let's see if he comes with a fastball somewhere. Park wants to pitch outside. At the ground ball down to shortstop. Island will field it. The out of the bag at second on the first and not in time. Tell you what, Croteau quick down the line, reaches on the fielder's choice. Stays out of the double play.
Yeah, if not for his speed, that would have been a double play. Nice play by the new second baseman out there, Zach Murray, though, Don. You know, he comes right into the game. You got to get in the thick of the action right away and avoid that slider and get it over to first.
Calero to the plate. He's 0 for 3. Get into a double play earlier today, so he got 1 out and 1 on. Rochester down to their final 2 outs. They need 3 runs here in the top of the 9th inning. Noah Misbrenner's pitch to the plate. Strike call over the outside corner. He's good placement there. Pitch that turns away from the right-handed hitter. Ground ball hit the third, taken on the backhand side. Copperwaite will go to second. They get the force there. Nice play again by Murray to reach and catch that ball. So he came out alert. That's another fielder's choice.
The first baseman, number 16, Christian Dow.
5-4 to put out the bag at second. Christian Dow, it's all up to him. Got a couple of hits, been robbed of a base hit. On a beautiful play by Ryan Brookings, a center fielder. He's grounded out 4-3. Rochester, you would think they came in with high hopes into this Northeast Regional with all the experience coming back. Pitching there for the strike call. We'll have a very brief post-game comment from Steve Riley, and then we'll bid adieu.
Gap.
That ball's going to find the gap in right center field. Going to be chased down by the center fielder Brookings. Heading around the bag at third is Calero, and he'll come home and score. That's going to be a double and an RBI for Dow, who's having himself a nice day today. He's now 3 for 5 with an RBI.
Now batting. The third
baseman, Dow just crushed that one again. And they're going to have a pinch runner for him, I think, right?
So that makes the score 6-4.
Yep, number 2 runs out there to run for him. And that is Mitch Genlinger.
Pinch running number 2, Mitch
Genkinger.
So Logan LaRochelle stepping up to the plate. They're going to try to keep things going here with 2 down. Can they put together a 3-run rally? They got 1 on the board already. Miss Brenner's pitch to the plate, strike call. Getting that strike call over the outside corner. That's Jen Krinker down at second running. That pitch is over for the strike. And the count 0-2. Now they're down to their final swing. La Rochelle, the cleanup hitter today, is 0 for 4. He has reached on an error. He struck out twice. Miss Brenner, who scored a critical run in this contest, trying to save it out in the mound for the starter Jesse Colford, who worked 8 complete. That pitch missed. Colford gave up just, what, 3 runs. This Rochester team just does not go quietly. And they're going to go quietly there. There's a beautiful pitch. Strike 3. Nowhere. Miss Brenner picking up the save. Colford the win, going 8. 6-4 your final. Steve Riley with a little recap for us.
Well, Don, you know, for Rochester, they just didn't get enough hits, although they did get 8 hits at the end of the day. They just didn't hit enough or well enough in this game to take it. I mean, they came into the game trying to, you know, struggling. I mean, you know, the pitcher from Bangor was really outstanding early on. His only blip, as I said, was in that 6th inning where he hit 2 batters and a big double. by Brian Lindsay is what jolted this Rochester team to take the lead 3-2, but they gave it right back in the following inning, and Bangor just scored another insurance run in the bottom of the 8th. And so for Bangor, you got 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th for 6 runs on a total of 12 hits. They committed an uncharacteristic 5 errors today, and despite that, were able to still survive and advance, which is all it's all about. Well, for Bangor today, they banged out another 12 hits in the game. That's their mantra, Don. They lead the tournament in hitting, as Zach Copperwaith got another 2 doubles today. Noah Misbrenner got 2 hits and RBI, scored twice. Zach Murray, 3 hits, a big RBI in the 8th. This when they scored the 7th, when they scored their 3 runs. And also down the bottom, Ryan Brookings, 2 doubles and a run scored and another RBI in the 9th inning. The top of the bottom of the 8th rather, to make it a 6-3 game. Rochester didn't quit. After a strikeout, the guy hustled down to first base, and then they ended up getting a big RBI double by Christian Dow. I tell you, Christian Dow did not want to go home. He was 3 for 5 today with that final double of maybe his American Legion career. The winning pitcher today, Jesse Colvert, as we said, was outstanding. Noah Misbrenner gets the save for Rochester. Matt White will take I believe he takes the loss. Brody Ashley comes in for his work after they took out White, but it was too much too late. The Bangor Coffee News team kept their onslaught of hitting and onslaught of scoring runs to keep them still in the tournament.
Yeah, they'll play again tomorrow. We got to wait for everything to sort out throughout the remainder of the day. Stay tuned to SportingNewsCT.com or the American Legion website for the next time Bangor plays, and we'll have it for you. For Steve Riley, I'm Don Boyle. Your final one more time. Bangor, Maine. They remain in with a 6-4 win over Rochester, New Hampshire. Good to see the boys from Rochester, New Hampshire again here in the Northeast Regional. Goodbye, everybody.